The Philippines is set to build one of the largest U.S. ammunition and storage facilities in Subic Bay Freeport Zone in Zambales Province, located in western Luzon. Subic Bay, once a major U.S. naval base, holds historical and strategic significance. The project, a U.S. government-sponsored foreign direct investment, or FDI, was affirmed during the Philippine President Marcos Jr.'s meeting with U.S. President Trump on 23rd July as part of the former's three-day official state visit. It was reported that the plant is part of the Philippines' self-reliant defense posture, intended to reinforce the Philippines' military capabilities. Subic Bay is located in Region 3 in Central Luzon, which, according to the latest data of the Philippine Statistics Authority, has a population of over 12.4 million. The Philippines is among the few countries endowed with metals, non-metals, and mineral resources. Its mountains, plains, coasts, and even shorelines hold deposits of both metallic and non-metallic minerals. The country is globally recognized for its abundant resources of gold, copper, nickel, iron, and chromite. It also contains significant quantities of coal, cobalt, gypsum, silver, and sulfur, to name a few. Zambales alone can be a source of chromite ore, copper, iron, silver, gold, and more. But beyond security, this plant facility at the Subic Bay could pose risks to human health and the environment. The Subic Bay facility, which is planned to serve as an assembly site for drones and missiles of the US, will also serve as a storage hub for ammunition and related materials such as nitrocellulose, nitroglycerine, and acid. These are key ingredients used in explosives and ammunition. Both nitrocellulose and nitroglycerine pose health risks upon exposure, whether through inhalation, pag nasinghot, or even through skin contact, pag nadikit sa atin. They are also flammable and chemically reactive and present explosion hazards. Meanwhile, the acids are highly corrosive and can pose serious health risks. Moreover, ammunition production requires the use of precious metals, resources the Philippines happens to have in abundance. Massive mining activities in Zambales have been claimed to cause flooding, deforestation, and adverse impacts on agricultural livelihoods, as well as contamination of water bodies, harming the health of residents, farm animals, and the surrounding environment. Incidentally, the Philippines also allows 100% foreign ownership of large-scale mining operations. I also think about the displacement not only of residents affected by the mining activities, but also of indigenous groups. With the establishment of a new ammunition facility and the encouragement of investments in industries that perpetuate violence, hatred, or inequality, where's the Philippines headed? What exactly are we thinking? Are we going to allow ourselves to become a link in the chain of global conflicts? Are we going to allow ourselves to go down the path of sharing in the karma of nations that propagate atrocities when a country is known to be warm, caring, and God-fearing? A God-fearing nation, that's what we are. Nation where more than 68 86% of the population are Roman Catholics. We revere the Blessed Mother as our way to Jesus, who is the way to God the Father. We have Filipino saints and martyrs in the representation of Saint Lorenzo Ruiz, Saint Pedro Calunsod, Blessed Jose Maria de Manila, and venerables such as Mother Ignacia del Espiritu Santo, founder of the Religious of Virgin Mary, or RVM, Mother Consuelo Artelo, co-founder of the Augustinian Sisters of Our Lady of Consolacion, and Lucena Bishop Alfredo Maria of Villar, founder of the Missionary Catechist of St. Therese of the Infant Jesus. We also have Mother Maria Beatriz del Rosario del Arroyo. She's the founder of the Dominican Sisters of Molo. And a lot more venerables. We also have martyrs, including the Jesuit martyrs in Micronesia, the La Salle martyrs of 1945, Vincentian martyrs of the Philippines, and religious martyrs of Santo Tomas. And the Philippines has been blessed with more privileges. According to the Catholic News Agency, the Philippines made history on 27 April 2025 by becoming the first nation in the world to consecrate itself entirely to Jesus through divine mercy. Earlier on 13 May 2020, the country was consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, coinciding with the 103rd anniversary of the apparition of Our Lady of Fatima. According to reports, Archdiocese of Davao's Archbishop Romulo G. Valles was also at the time the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, said that the 2020 consecration was aimed to implore the grace and mercy of the Lord to end the pandemic and to seek the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary for the healing and recovery of all those who are infected, and for strength and protection of the frontliners and our fellow citizens. Now, the apparition of Our Lady of Fatima drew attention to the evils of war and the urgent need to restore peace, which is quite ironic. See, the message of Our Lady of Fatima specifically called for conversion of Prussia to prevent future wars. The deeper warning speaks also to a global pattern, which is one of hatred, vindictiveness, injustice, and violence, perpetrated by nations that assert their dominance for selfish gain. Likewise, in 2013, according to the Vatican News, the Philippine bishops also consecrated the nation to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and that year's consecration took place during the Year of Faith, which marked the first of 9 years of preparation for the celebration of the 5th centenary of the arrival of the gospel in the Philippines, or the 5th centenary of the arrival of Christianity in this country, in the country. Again, I'd like to reiterate that our Blessed Mother has always called for peace and obedience to God's will. Now, with our policies leaning towards supporting the conflicts and aggressions, are we honoring our consecration? Are we going to allow ourselves to become a bastion of weapons that kill and spread brutality rather than goodwill, compassion, and peace, as we vowed to promote through our consecration to the Blessed Mother and the Divine Mercy? We can be a nation of greatness without losing our moral compass, and most importantly, without breaking our pledge. Our pledge to be instruments of mercy in a chaotic world. We can once again be a country of heroes, not of war, but of peace. So let that sink in. Meanwhile, as always, stay brave and stay grounded.